Okay, let's get going. Step 1 is all about preparing yourself mentally for the interview, which is just as important as the structured preparations you will need to do. Just like professional athletes need to prepare physically for a competition, many studies have shown that what lets them down is their mental state. Not believing that they are ready, not believing that they have done enough preparation or that they are good enough to win, which means they're not able to see themselves crossing the line in front of everyone else and getting that first position. Do you imagine that an athlete who's preparing for the Olympics spends the 4 years doing so thinking that they won't win? And if they did think that way, then how do you think this would affect their physical preparation? So the first thing we need to do is start with the end in mind. What do I mean by that? Well, like all psychologists and motivational speakers that are brought in to work with sportsmen and women, it's about creating the imagery of winning, picturing yourself crossing that line in first place, or giving you the belief and the confidence that you can be the best that you can. So how is it relevant to interviewing? Well, it was Albert Ellis, a psychologist back in 1955, that simply put it this way: how you think is how you feel, and how you feel is how you behave, which in this case, we're going to change behavior for how you communicate. So what I want you to do is start imagining that you have the job. I want you to think that you've been doing this job for 3 to 6 months. I want you to position yourself sitting in the role and thinking about what you will be doing, how you'll be doing it, and how will it feel sitting in the office or the factory or wherever else you'll be working. The reason that we do this is that you will use positive communication when in the interview rather than subtle negative signals. Okay, an example may be if you were asked, what might you add to the position? And rather responding like, well, if I were in the role, I would. But rather you would respond something like, in the first 3 months, I would focus on developing effective strategies to increase X, Y, Z. And this is where thinking that you're in the role will help you to respond naturally and with conviction. Take the time to imagine yourself on day 1 walking up to your working area and sitting down. Look around and feel what it would be like to be in that position. Now think about what was highlighted in the job description when you were applying for this role. What skill sets were they looking for? What responsibilities were they looking for you to take on? Think about what the advert was really asking for and what gap they are really looking to fill. What skill sets are they looking for and how will you be able to resolve that problem that they have? Now think about what you can do and what you can add to this role so that the interviewers will feel that you are the solution to their problem.